Green Bay, homie, we do this a lot. Whether it's summertime hot or 30 below, stadium stands iced over 4 to 5 feet of snow. We go, cause we ain't feeling that cold.
And we are back on PJ Sports Talk, and we are going to be talking about why Super Bowl 50 should be in Lambeau Field.
Thank you for having me back on the show, PJ. I appreciate it.
And
we're going to start a grassroots movement called Bring the Title Game to Title Town, Super Bowl 50 in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And a while back, this really wouldn't have been feasible because the NFL had all these rules about if you were going to have the game in a open-air stadium, it had to meet all these weather requirements. So basically, you could have it in Florida or you could have it in Southern California. But Super Bowl 47 is going to be played outdoors in New York City. So if you can do it in New York City, why not Wisconsin?
Well, thank you, Paul, and you're welcome back anytime. But well, I think that it doesn't matter where the Super Bowl is, because who cares if there's not great weather? It makes it even more better. It makes it even better, and because with the weather, it makes it more old school.
It definitely does. And I've had the opportunity to go to Lambeau. I know you've been to Lambeau several times, and it really is football mecca. And I think if you're a true football fan, you want to experience that. And again, I think the NFL. One of the great things about the NFL, and one of the reasons I think the NFL is far and away the number one sport in America, they've never really catered to the major markets. They've always had everybody on a level playing field. So again, I understand. When they announced the Super Bowl was going to be outdoors in New York, they broke into your regularly scheduled programming to announce that. I know Tampa was up for that game as well. And I thought when they said they were going to do a national news conference in prime time, I'm thinking, gee, I wonder if it's Tampa Bay. No, it's New York City. But again, if you're going to do that, be equal about it and look at all the markets. And Green Bay's smallest market in the NFL, in Major League Sports, but I think easily the most storied team in the NFL.
And what do you think about the Packers team?
I mean, the Packers right now, I think, are in a league of their own right now. I really don't. They talk about that right now. We don't have any elite teams. The Packers are far and away until somebody can knock them off. And again, they may lose a couple of games this year, but Aaron Rodgers is just in a zone right now, and the whole team is just really. You always talk about a Super Bowl letdown and the kind of the Super Bowl hangover effect, and it's just like they just picked right up. They just walked off of that field in Dallas and just picked right up where they left off in 2010 and are just rolling.
And most people, there hasn't been a lot of teams that won a Super Bowl twice in a row. Do you think Green Bay has the potential to do that?
I mean, you don't want to go out on a limb because you have one injury and suddenly you're back to square one. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that really has never been done is to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. Of course, to do that, you have to win 2 Super Bowls in a row first. But I think they have the potential to do that because it's a young team.
And what is your favorite player on the Packers team?
I really like Clay Matthews. I think that the guy, the guy's a rock star, and he's getting a lot of commercial time. He's starting to take over for Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's out with a bad neck, so he can't do commercials anymore. So Clay Matthews is picking up his slack, but he's really kind of embodies that kind of the Norseman kind of thing that Green Bay has going on.
And like you said about Peyton Manning's neck, did you hear that he wanted the real painful surgery? That way he could get right back in it. Just take the season. You're not going to get back anyway. Yeah.
I agree. I think, this guy, you don't want to bring him back too soon. I think they need to write off this season. I hate to see that. I'm a Colts fan. It's my hometown. I'm a big Colts fan. But to throw him back in there when you get a chance of maybe winning 8 games is I agree with you, PJ. I think that's just it's not worth the risk.
And we are talking with Paul Pruitt on PJ Sports Talk. And I heard that the U.S. didn't permit let Peyton Manning do that surgery in the U.S., so he had to go to all the way to a different country.
Yes, stem cell treatment. It's very controversial. A lot of ethical issues around that. I'm of the opinion that if you can make something work, if it can help the situation, you go for it. Certainly, he has the resources to do that, to go out of country and get that treatment. But again, as a fan, I just hope that he's able to return to his his normal playing level, which was extremely high. But don't rush into it. If you have to write the season off, you write the season off.
And Paul, can you repeat the grassroots of the Super Bowl?
We're going to bring the title game to Title Town. And again, I think, the NFL really has always, catered to equality and parity. And my fear is under the Goodall regime, they seem to be going to kind of cater to the major markets. There's a lot of talk about having Super Bowl 50 in Los Angeles. I can get that. It's a big market, but they currently don't have an NFL team, and there's been a ton of Super Bowls in the Southern California area. So there's nothing unique or exceptional or memorable about having another Super Bowl in Southern California when you could actually do something extreme and really make a big difference.
And what do you think about 50 year anniversary of winning the first Super Bowl?
I think, again, it'd be a nice tribute to the fact that the Packers, basically the Super Bowl was created so the Packers could beat up on the AFL. That's what happened Super Bowl 1 and 2. But it would be a nice recognition of their history, and it would also be the 20th anniversary of their 96 win and the 5th anniversary of their 2010 win. So it'd be a nice little anniversary for the Packers. Again, the most storied team in football, and really recognizing that the NFL is about the whole country, not just the East and West Coast.
And what do you think that any people like Peyton Manning, do you think that their career they're almost to the end?
Well, I mean, he's had a great career. And the thing is, you hate to see a guy go out because he gets hurt. You hate to see that. Same time, though, you want him to be able to walk out as a healthy man, because he's got a lot of options. When he leaves football, he'd take over your job. You better watch out, because he could be he could have his own radio show. But the guy's got a lot of options. You hate to see him go out that way. You like to see everybody go out like John Elway, but that's just not reality, and everybody has that option. I just wanted to see him leave as a healthy human being.
I'm not sure if you heard, but Brett Favre is the commentator for Ole Miss, and what do you think about that?
Brett's a fun guy. I was watching NFL Network. They had a thing on. They rated the top quarterbacks of the '90s, and Brett Favre finished ahead of guys like Steve Young, Dan Marino, and John Elway. So it's like, okay, but I think he's an entertaining guy. He's a very entertaining guy, and I mean that's his territory down there. So I'm sure that they love him. Have him on the show and everything, and I'm sure he'll provide a lot of good color for those games.
Do you think that Peyton Manning, what job do you think Peyton Manning should take up when he retires?
I think he could be governor of Indiana and Louisiana at the same time, but I think there's going to be a lot of effort to get him into the booth. I think people are going to want the guy he's a real student of the game. Really understands football. Coaches like talking to the guy. I think he'll bring a lot to the table. I think you'll probably see him on one of the major football networks.
And what do you think should be Aaron Rodgers' key for to get to the Super Bowl?
I think he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. I mean, again, the guy's in his zone, and you just got to run with that when it's happening. I mean, the guy is calling all the right plays, he's making all the right throws. He's getting some help in the running game, which is important, but I think he just needs to. The thing is, he needs to let her rip. I mean, just let it fly, because his coach has the total confidence in him. He doesn't. He's able to get out there and just let it go, and that's what the Packers are doing. They're just rolling over people.
I have a question for you about the Packers. Do you think that they improved a lot since last year? Because I think they did. Last year when they lost Chad Clifton, he was injured. It was all downhill. but now they lost Chad Clifton, but they're still doing good. Do you think that the Packers improved a lot?
I think that's a key, like you say, when you lose a key player and you're able to fill in, other guys are able to step up. That's what makes a championship team, because injuries are part of the game. Guys are always going to get hurt. You're always going to have somebody step up and fill the void. And the Packers have a lot of depth. They have a lot of depth at quarterback. Matt Flynn is going to be a hot ticket next year. A lot of teams want a quarterback like that, and he's only going to spend so much time sitting on the bench. But you're not going to play him ahead of an Aaron Rodgers. But again, there's a lot of teams out there that could use a guy like that. So the Packers have great depth, and that's the key, because guys are going to go down, and the number 2 guy's got to step up and fill that space, and that's what they've been able to do.
And what is your most favorite memory of Super Bowl?
I would have to say seeing the Giants beat the Patriots. I call it doesn't have a name. That should be called, PJ. You need to copyright this. It should be called the Phoenix play. When Eli comes out of that pile, there's no way he comes out of that pile, and there's no way he makes that throw, and there's no way the guy hangs on to the ball. And I knew at that moment they were going to win that game. And I saw my Colts win the Super Bowl, which was a huge deal. But that play was just unforgettable, just an amazing play.
And I remember when I was watching that play was actually called the Phantom.
I didn't know it had a name. There's a thing I've been watching about plays that have names, like Goes to the Post and all that. But the Phantom play is a good play because it comes out of nowhere.
Well, actually, I heard that Justin Timberlake put gum on his helmet.
I like that.
I don't know. We'll be right back.